And finally, I think this is the wall moment.
Yeah, it is.
Great. Oh, I love this flick. Very confident. You went to the wall. Okay. Whoop. And you did exactly what he did, but here's the difference. You could maintain it. You had slightly less angle, and I'm pretty sure this is because of all the stabilization that I put into the car because it's super gripped. I didn't want the car to over rotate, and you see that it kind of the car wants to just go and lock into this angle, and you just floor it. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
It doesn't want to go to 90 degrees and above because this is where you start to kind of lose control. You could set the car to be 90 degrees and you stay floored, but it gets very risky. If they bump you, spin out, or a little tap, if you make a little mistake, the slightest bump will give you like a few degrees or super minimal degrees, and that's enough for you to exit the degrees that you can maintain. Like you're on the verge of the potential of the angle kit, like 90 degrees, like how long can you sustain it? Obviously, you're not going to be all the time, but I think you get the point. So I like to just have it slightly off this. In case somebody bumps you or you tap the wall, you increase the angle, but you're not going to get outside of the supported range of the angle kit. So that you have to completely lift off the gas and you potentially can cause the other guy to crash into you. Nice on the wall. So here what you have to do. Great transition, as we said previously. Look. And you had liquidity, playback speed. Let's do this. Whoop. I like, and then you braked it into the spot, and again the car settled, then you go back on the gas. I'm pretty sure I know why you don't want to floor the car, because you've probably hit this wall multiple times and you think it's the gas, so you want to be a bit gripped up. Usually I see that you like to just go on the gas because you're comfortable. You know the car can handle it. It's not going to spin out. It's not going to over rotate anything. Here, what we said. When you transition it like this, slightly steer the car with the steering wheel because it settles into angle. So when the car settles like this because of the tune, just use the steering wheel to slowly just steer yourself on the wall. That's my advice. If you start by any reason to go tighter on the line and go away from the wall, you could slightly brake. Obviously, they might take some points of view if this is like a momentum zone and like the G-forces, start to go down, like they're not progressive where you maintain your build speed. But this is my advice, honestly, to you. In case there's something and you see you could like slightly tap the brake or something, they might not be visible sometimes. I see what they do in Formula Drift is like they might just do a super quick handbrake pop and like judges won't notice it because of the smoke. They won't be able to
Yeah.
see like this half a second handbrake or something like that will be able to give you these like half a meter or meter to extend the drift and go a bit wider. So you can definitely do some tricks and stuff. So that's pretty much about the wall. So to not waste too much time, we covered all these mistakes, why so on way too much in depth last time. For the wall, what can you tell me? What changed here?
Oh, that worked amazingly. That was
So,
that was like I was able to do it consistent almost every time, like to be close on the wall. And other tracks that had walls, I went to them to try it too, and it was like every time I was close and able to do it consistently, just
so
from like turning either left or right when I would initiate on the wall.
yeah, so this is from my experience when I tuned and I drove the car. Super steady, super easy. Like, bro, it just stays like if you stay on the gas, the car just stays into angle. So I don't have to worry about this. And I can just steer myself on the wall. It's a bit contradicting to the style I like to drive, but or the way, let's say, I like to drive. Some people like to steer themselves, but I'm like, this was something new, something very refreshing. You always, when you lose excitement to the game, you want something new and refreshing. I really like how this setup ended up, but I'm not gonna change the topic. So the point is that this problem that you had with the wall, where was it? About here,
Yeah,
where you will transition. Nice, bro. This is extremely good transition. Look how you just went. This is commitment to go that close on the wall. Like full ballsy, full risky move or calculated. If you've done this multiple times over and over again, you know exactly when to transition, how to transition, the timing, everything's on point. You know how to exactly go on the wall. And then here you tend to, because you're unsure, you always hit the wall. You were just unsure if you should brake or lower the gas because you always hit what to do. So that's why I told you, go stay on the gas, just steer yourself with the wheel slowly either to the left or to the right depending where the wall goes. The car is settled. As long as you stay high on the gas, this car is not going to snap on you. Slowly steer yourself either to the left or the right. And how did it work for you?
It worked. It worked great.
So you were able to finally consistently do the walls without the problem and not crashing anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all I needed to hear, bro. And I'm happy. I'm glad that I made what I told you, made a change. These new, little tricks and techniques help you out. And this is what shines my day. That even if I have a bad day and I see that I managed to help somebody, this really lightens up my day. And it keeps me pushing, keeps me doing more stuff. So I'm glad about this. And we're going to move now to the replays, if that's okay. Or do you have anything? Did I miss anything? Or do you want to add anything like as a summary? Like in general, some of the tricks that I gave you about the braking didn't work exactly. Yes, it worked to keep you in proximity and like off the guy, not hitting him, but it was putting you on a tight line. So we're gonna work on this and try slightly less, lowering the percentage until like you can get close to them, keep the proximity, but also preserve the line. Or you could slightly shallow up the angle and keep the car in this angle with the brake. And we'll try these things now and see what works, what's more. It's very important that there's a lot of ways, but sometimes it's what's comfortable, what's good for you, and also to be optimal, if that makes sense. Do you have anything that you want to add more about the tips I gave you about the consistent braking, the steering yourself on the wall?
Yeah, I think I need more practice with the braking
I think the braking,
and just like chasing in general. And you'll see in the replays, I have a lot of questions for you, like mistakes I'm making, and I don't know how to fix them.
All right, sure. We'll dial into the replays now and see what's happening. But I'm very, very happy that there is progress when you try to not modulate the brake, because this really upsets the car. There's really no benefit to just popping the brake, like tapping it non-stop and stuff. This is more like it's gonna upset the car. You need something nice and gradual. If you remember what I teach the people that are just learning, be gradual. If your movements are gradual, like it's like you can predict them, and the change is going to be applied slowly and gradually. There's no goofiness that can happen because you can see it. The car is going to react nice and gradually as well. It's literally what you put out there. If you slam on the brake on 30% instantly and then ditch your foot out, it's like you bash the pedal and then you let off. You can imagine how the car is going to react. So the car, just to give you an example, the car is going to react like this. Sudden change, whoop, wiggle, bam, wiggle. You see, it's going to wiggle. It's not going to be nice and smooth movements like you have when you drive solo, look all nice and smooth. But if you start bashing, it was like when you chase, it's like these wiggles. Look how the car is going to wiggle. Whoop, right and left. You see, that's visible. And this shows you the disturbance of the car. So the inputs can disturb the car, 100%. So that's about this one, bro. And I hope you're happy that there's like way more progress, especially for the walls. As long as you're consistent, you're happy. Like I'm happy, and we will see what I can help you more with this.
Yeah, my leads on just about every track are better than ever after the walls now. So I've always been able to fill the zones pretty good, but then like sometimes walls would just be my worst nightmare. But now I understand if I hit them, then I understand where I can go and try to turn left or turn right depending on the wall. So that really did help.
This is great to hear. So, but here's the thing, like, why? Yes, you will know sometimes if you entered with a bit higher speed and you know the car, you know the track, you know the wall, you know the terrain, everything, and you know if you're a bit faster and you know exactly how to account for this and make the changes needed for this to balance it out so that you don't hit. You could just steer yourself slightly more to one side or another. So it's about knowing the car and applying the correct, changes. So steering with this car, steering yourself worked flawlessly, especially for like slowly turning walls. Sharper walls might require you to turn a bit just faster to cover these faster these degrees of change. And that's pretty much about it.